Welcome to the online lecture on Major Histocompatibility Complex, also known as MHC or commonly known as MHC. The major histocompatibility complex, it can be defined as a tightly linked cluster of genes whose products play an important role in intracellular recognition and in discrimination between self and non-self. Okay, before going to the definition, first we will go regarding the terms of the histocompatibility complex so that you can have the better idea on the definition and the concept and the mechanism of the histocompatibility complex. The term histo, which is a well-known word, histo means about the tissue. And where is the compatibility? Compatibility refers to getting along or agreeable. Okay, if we are agreeing something, then we can say the compatibility. Histocompatibility. If the tissues are agreeing something, then we can say as a histocompatibility. And we are having another word known as the complex. Complex refer to the genes that are localized to a large genetic region containing multiple loci. Okay, just we are having the genes which are present or localized on a large genetic region. Okay, large genetic region which consisting of the multiple loci. If the tissues are agreeing something, then we can say that is about the histocompatibility complex. And it can be, now we will go with the definition, is defined as a tightly linked cluster of genes. What the histocompatibility complex they consisting of cluster of genes. Okay, and what is their role? They play important role in intracellular recognition. They will recognize intracellularly within our body. They will recognize. Okay, what they will recognize, and they recognize an indiscrimination between self and non-self. That means these are the molecules. They can differentiate that these are our body related, and these are about the foreign substances. Like that, they are having the role of recognition, and they have the role of discrimination between the self and the non-self molecules which enters into our body, so that they can differentiate between the self molecules and the non-self molecules. And we will go in detail with the major histocompatibility complex, which was identified by the Peter Gorger and George Snell in 1930. The MHC, simply we are calling it as the major histocompatibility complex as the MHC, and they produces a set of proteins called histocompatible molecules. Okay, these are the proteins which are present in the complex. We are calling them as the histocompatible molecules, and where they are present means, you can look at the diagram here. The major histocompatibility molecules, we are saying that histocompatibility molecules, they are present on the are present on the surface of the cells which consisting of nucleus. You can see this is a cell. At the center the cell consisting of nucleus. On the cell surface, you can see these are the small, circular small surface molecules. On the surface the molecules are present. These are the molecules which are present on the surface of the nucleated cell. You can see this is the cell membrane, this is the nucleus, and these are about the MHC antigen. Okay, that means we can see that where is their location? The location of the MHC molecules, or we can call it as the MHC antigens. They are located on the cell surface of the nucleated cells. These molecules are located on the cell membrane of the nucleated cells of the body, as well as in the blood serum. They are present on the cell surface and also on the blood serum. These molecules are responsible or allograft the rejection, immune recognition, and complement levels. These are the three major roles of the major histocompatibility complex molecules, or the complex having their major role is about the allograft rejection. Okay, they are playing a role in the organ rejection or about the allograft rejection. Okay, that means what is about the graft, we can say, suppose we are having a person is donating some organ, okay, to another person. The person who is donating, we can call them as a donor, and who receives, they can call them as a receiver, okay, or the recipient. Okay, and whatever the organ or that is transplanting, that we can call it as a graft. Okay, then the allograft rejection. Okay, during the, suppose if the two persons, the donor and the recipient, if they are having the same genotype and phenotype, then the organ will be transplanted very perfectly and there won't be any rejection. But if the genotype and the phenotype are not matching, then definitely the rejection of the rejection of the graft will be takes place. That is known as the allograft rejection. Next one is about the immune recognition. If anything enters into our body, immediately they identify them as the non-self and they make them as the foreign substances, so that immediately antibodies can be stimulated and the antigen antibody reaction is going on and the immunity will be started. Okay, and also involved in the responsible for the complement levels. Okay, these are the three major roles or the major functions of the histocompatibility molecules, and the compatible tissues will be accepted by the immune system while the histo-incompatible ones are rejected. Okay, and the rejection of the foreign tissues leads to an immune response to the cell surface molecules. Okay, immediately, suppose if the body recognizes them as a foreign substances, then immediately on the cell surface we are having these MHCs and they are showing them as the antigens. Okay, suppose if a foreign body enters, immediately these MHCs, okay, they are that whatever the antigen or the non-self particle, okay, they will, these MHs catches those and they will project like this. Okay, okay, they can show here. Okay, they can show here so that they can have the so that means they are projecting the foreign substances as an antigen. The main function of the MHC molecule is to bring antigen to the cell surface for recognition by the T cells. Okay, this is the major function. Okay, they are bringing their antigens to the cell surface for recognition by the T cells. Okay, whenever the antigens they are projecting, then immediately T cells will be stimulated. In humans, the genes coding for MHC molecules are found in the short arm of chromosome number 6. Okay, where they are located, these MHC molecules means the genes encoding. Okay, the MHC molecules will be produced by the genes which are encoded in the chromosome number 6. Okay, the chromosome number 6, we know that chromosome having the two arms, one is short arm and another one is a long arm. Okay, these the genes which are encoded for the MHC molecules, they are present in the short arm of the chromosome number 6. Okay, initially the MHC of MHCs, okay, the MHCs was discovered, as I told, MHC was discovered by the George Snell. Okay, initially they found the MHCs in the mouse and they can call them as the H2. Okay, later it was discovered in the man and they can call them as the HLA complex. What is it by HLA means? Human leukocyte antigen. Okay, again I am repeating, MHCs present in the mouse are identified in the mouse are called them as the H2, whereas the MHCs identified in the humans are known as the HLA. Okay, human leukocyte antigen complex. Now going into the types of MHCs. Okay, MHCs are classified into three types. Whatever the MHCs we call them in man is called the human leukocyte antigens. Okay, the HLA simply, and it is a cluster of, as we discussed, it is a cluster of structural genes responsible for the production of antigens located on the nucleated cells and the components of the complements. Okay, the HLA complex of man is located in the short arm of the chromosome number 6. Okay, this is a point also we discussed. If you look at that, see, this is the chromosome, chromosome number 6, on the chromosome number 6, which consisting of long arm and short arm. As we discussed, that the short arm consisting of the genes are encoded for the genes which are encoded for the MHCs molecules. Okay, this is the part where HLA, this is known as HLA gene complex. This HLA gene complex, it consisting of totally three regions: class 1 region, class 2 region and the class 3 region. Okay, again the class 1 region, you can see the class 1 region, it consisting of A, B, C, and whereas the class 2 region, it consisting of DP, DQ, DR, whereas the class 3 region, it consisting of C2, C4 and TNF, or also known as TNF. Okay, we will go in detail the organization of MHC HLA genes in the human in chromosomes as we depicted in the figure. We are going into the tabular form in a simpler manner, that the class MHC class 1, it consisting of the regions A, B and C, whereas the MHT is 2. Okay, can have a better idea like this. MHT2, okay, if you look at MHT2, it consisting of the regions are about the DP, DQ and DR, whereas the MHC3, okay, MHC3, you can see here MHC3, it consisting of C2, C4 and BDF. Okay, these are about the regions present in the small arm of the chromosome. Next, coming about the gene products. Okay, what are the gene products? Are about the A region, it having the gene product that is known as the HLA-A, whereas the B for HLA-B and C for HLA-C. Whereas the DP of the MHC2, it having the gene product of DP and alpha beta. Whereas the DQ, DQ and alpha beta. DR, DR and alpha beta. Coming to the class 3, that is about MHC class 3, it consisting of the region C2, C4 and BDF. It consisting of the gene products, the protein and TNF alpha and TNF beta. Okay, these are the this is regarding the organization of major histocompatibility complex in man, which is about the HLA genes in the chromosome number 6. This is the complex which consisting of totally the 3 regions, the 3 classes with the regions and the gene products. Okay, now coming to the structure. Okay, out of the class 3, we are having about the 3 classes, class 1, class 2 and class 3. The structure, we are focusing mostly on the class 1 and the class 2. It is having the well defined the structure we can see. First we will go into the class 1. Okay, this is regarding the class 1 molecule, this is regarding the class 2 molecule. Under the class 1 molecule, you can see it is consisting of this is about the membrane distal domains, and this is about the membrane proximal domains, and this is about the transmembrane segment. Okay, this overall is known as the transmembrane segment, and it consisting of the third region is known as the cytoplasmic tail. Okay, totally the class 1 and the 2 molecule, it consisting of totally 3 regions. Okay, this part is known as the first region, where it consisting of the membrane part, and this is about the second part that is known as the transmembrane part, and the third part that is known as the cytoplasmic tail. Okay, we will go in detail regarding the first one, that is about the class 1 molecule. The class 1 MHC gene encodes glycoprotein molecule. Okay, this is about, it is encoding the glycoprotein molecule, which expressed on the surface of all nucleated cells and also in the platelets, or we can discuss that as in the serum. And MHC1 molecule contains 45 kilodalton units and of alpha chain, which is associated non-covalently with 12 kilodaltons of a beta-2 microglobulin molecule. You can see is about this is about the alpha chain. Okay, this is about the alpha chain and this is about the beta chain. Okay, the alpha chain, this is about the totally alpha chain, and this orange colored one we can see is about, this is about the beta chain. Okay, the alpha chain is about the 45 kilodaltons of the alpha chain, whereas the beta is about the 12 kilodaltons of the microglobulin molecule. Okay, association of the alpha and the beta 2 is required for the expression of class 1 MHC molecule on the cell membrane. First we will go with the alpha. Okay, this is regarding the alpha molecule membrane, and this is about the beta. First we will go with the description regarding the alpha. Okay, you can see is about alpha chain of MHC1. The alpha chain is a transmembrane glycoprotein. Okay, this whatever the MHC molecules all are there, they are made up of the glycoproteins. Transmembrane glycoprotein encoded by a polymorphic gene within A, B and C region of human HLA complex. Okay, you can see it's about this is about the transmembrane. Okay, this is transmembrane glycoprotein, which is encoding by the gene within alpha, beta, A, beta and C. And the alpha chain is anchored in the plasma membrane by its hydrophobic transmembrane segment and hydrophilic cytoplasmic tail. Okay, it consisting of alpha chain. See, this is about the alpha chain totally. Okay, this alpha chain is anchored in the plasma membrane by its hydrophilic. This is about the transmembrane segment, and this is about the cytoplasmic tail. Okay, of which we can say is about the transmembrane is about the hydrophobic in nature, whereas the cytoplasmic tail is about the hydrophilic in nature. And if you look at the alpha, it is having 3 domains. You can see this is the first domain, this is the second domain, and this is about the third domain. Okay, the 3 domains is made up of, the first domain is known as alpha 1, this is about the second domain is known as alpha 2, and third one is known as the alpha 3. each domain containing approximately 90 amino acids. Okay, each domain is having total 90 amino acids, whereas a transmembrane domain having about 25 hydrophobic. As we already discussed, the transmembrane is hydrophobic in nature. Okay, this part is about the hydrophobic in nature, and it consisting of 25 amino acids, followed by the, okay, it is followed by what this the transmembrane part is followed, it is followed by the cytoplasmic tail, which is hydrophilic in nature. Okay, and it consisting of 30 amino acids. Okay, it consisting of the 30 amino acids. Then we can go about the alpha 1 and the alpha 2. Okay, you can see is about, this is the first domain, that is known as the alpha 1, and this is the second domain. See, out of these alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3, you can see the alpha 2 and alpha 3, they are linked by the disulfide linkages internally. Okay, then we are having another important point is about the alpha 1 and alpha 2 domains interact to form a deep groove on the top, which is a peptide binding cleft, and it can bind antigen of 8 to 10 amino acids long. You can see is about the alpha 1. Okay, this is about the alpha 1 and this is about the alpha 2. Okay, these alpha 1 and alpha 2, just they have a small binding of the 10 amino acids, so that you can have a groove like structure here, or the cleft we can say. Okay, as amino acids gets binded, okay, and forms a cleft, then it is known as the peptide binding cleft. Okay, this is about the peptide binding cleft is seen between the alpha 1 and the alpha 2, where the cleft is formed because of the binding of the antigens 8 to 10 amino acids long. And coming to the alpha 3 and beta 2, see, if you look at, this is about the alpha 3 and this is about the beta 2 microglobulin. They are organized into the beta pleated sheets, each formed by an anti-parallel beta strand of amino acids, and this structure is known as the immunoglobulin fold. Okay, you can hear this is about the immunoglobulin fold, you can see here. And because of this structure, alpha chain and my beta 2 microglobulin are classified as a member of immunoglobulin superfamily receptor. And coming to the beta 2, okay, beta 2 microglobulin of class 1 molecule, this is a protein encoded by the highly conserved gene located on the different chromosome, and it is smaller in size and organization to alpha 3 domain, and it does not contain a transmembrane region and is non-covalently linked with the alpha chain. Okay, see, it is not got connected, it is not connected, or it is not having any covalent connection with the alpha 3. Okay, it is not having any alpha 3 connection, and it is not having the transmembrane segment or about the cytoplasmic segment. Okay, this is regarding the beta 2 microglobulin, and total is of the class 1 molecule. Okay, MHC class 1 molecule. The structure we have seen. Coming to the functions of MHC class 1, the major function is about the is to bind peptide antigens and to present the CD8 plus T cells. Okay, the T helper cells, and which are specific. Okay, which are the CD8 T cells are specific for MHC1 antigen, and they binds the endogenous antigen present to the T helper cells, and they are found on the surface of the all nucleated cells. Okay, these are the functions of the MHC class 1. Then we can have a look on about the class 2 molecule. You can see here the class 2 molecule, it consisting of alpha 2 domains. Okay, whereas in the class 1 it is having 3 domains, alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3, whereas in the class 2 molecule it consisting of 2 domains of alpha and 2 domains of the beta. Okay, of which alpha 2 and whereas the beta under the beta 1 and beta 2, all these three, that means except alpha 1, they are having internally, they are linked with the disulfide linkages, and both the alpha 2 and the beta 2 both are having the transmembrane segment. Okay, you can have the hydrophobic transmembrane segment is present, whereas in the class 1 the beta 2 is not having any transmembrane or cytoplasmic tail, but as in the class 2 molecule, both the alpha 2 and the beta 2 both are having the hydrophobic transmembrane segment and the hydrophilic cytoplasmic tail. Okay, we can have the description. The class 2, it is also a glycoprotein molecule expressed primarily on the antigen presenting cells such as the macrophages, dendritic cells and the B cells, whereas the class 1, they are present on the nucleated cells of the cell surface. Okay, whereas the class 2 molecule, they are present on the macrophages, dendritic cells and the B cells. and they consisting of two polypeptide chains, okay, alpha chain and the beta chain, okay, 133 kilodaltons of the alpha chain, 28 kilodaltons of the beta chain, which are associated by the non-covalent interaction. You can see is about there is no covalent interaction between the alpha and beta. Okay, here also there is no covalent bond formation between the alpha and beta. Okay, no covalent bond formation. Okay, I'm stressing the point. And coming to the alpha chain and beta chain, as we discussed it, that alpha both are having two domains, alpha 1 and alpha 2, beta 1 and beta 2. Okay, and both are having the peptide binding cleft. We can see here. Here also peptide binding cleft we can see between the alpha 1 and the beta 1. Okay, we are having about the cleft peptide binding cleft is open and groove formed between the alpha and the beta chain at the proximal end. The cleft can bind antigenic peptide of 13 to 18 amino acids long, whereas in the class 1, 10 amino acids long. Coming to the functions, and they present here they present the CD4 T cells, whereas here it present the CD8 T cells. Okay, and they are present on the surface of the antigen presenting cells and are specific for CD4 T cells, and they activates the B cells for the production of antibodies, plays a significant role in the graft rejection. Okay, because the immune response gene is identical to the MHC2 in the humans. Coming to the class 3, these are the diverse group of molecules that serves as a wide variety of functions in the immune system, and they are not a marker on any cells, and their function is about they are involved in the complement activation, and they are involved in inflammation caused by the cytokines, tumor necrosis factors, etc. Okay, this is regarding the major histocompatibility complex, the definition and their structure and their location and the types. Okay, and the types and the structure. Under the structure, we have discussed the two types of classes with the structure, class 1 and the class 2 with their alpha and the beta, and finally we have discussed regarding the functions.